But I'm just saying that to make a point, where, players weren't getting traded as much. So it's just a part of the business now.
And it probably feels good to feel wanted, right? I mean, at several points in your career, somebody else has gone out to get you and paid big money and done all those things. So is that it's a good thing.
Honestly, like it's not about feeling wanted. It's just from my perspective, because I do understand like if you think about it like this, like you can be wanted, but if you don't play well, then you're not gonna any longer be wanted. So at the end of the day, you just got to keep the main thing the main thing, and the main thing is being available for the team and playing up to the standard.
We haven't seen this new look offense in action in the live game yet. You know what it's going to look like. What are your feelings and expectations?
I don't have a crystal ball in front of me, but the expectations is obviously to go out there and execute the plays that's being called, for us to play our brand of football, for us to be extremely locked in, and put our best foot forward. Yeah.
What do you think of this matchup with Dallas? And this offense going against that defense. Obviously, Michael Parsons is the centerpiece, but what do you think of that secondary
They've had a really good defense for a couple of years now. So it's going to be definitely be a challenge. We look forward to the challenge. We feel like we have offense. Like I said before, it's nothing special going up against any particular team, because every team has pieces and centerpieces and dynamic players. So you just got to go out there, and like I said before, you got to go out there and put your best foot forward and try to get the win.
How did you feel about CD Lamb's blockbuster extension, the way that these receiver contracts continue to go? What did you make of that?
I'm proud of him. I played with CD for a couple years. Really humble kid, man. Really humble kid. Eager to learn. Just wants to be the best. Has gotten better every single year. Very, very dynamic player. So he is definitely deserved. So yeah, I'm proud of him. And just as far as the actual deal, it's just how the market is. You know what I mean? Like, if it's your time to get paid, the market is going to keep going up. So I'm proud of him.
Amari Diggs, the last year you two played together, he goes 11 interceptions. Just what challenge does he pose as a corner in that matchup?
Yeah, man. Did play with Diggs for 2 years. We went to the same school. Have a good relationship. He's a great player. You know what I mean? Very, very dynamic player. Has great ball skills. Has great IQ for the position. Excited for the challenge. This is why I play the game. This is what I love most about the game: to go up against the best and to challenge yourself. This is why I fell in love with the game of football. So it's going to be a great matchup for sure.
The offense should be considered a work in progress, or should we be expected to execute play number one first game?
Yeah, I mean, the expectation is always be the best that you can be. So, of course, we're looking to go out there and do our thing and ball. We try to score points every drive. That's just the standard. Yeah.
So can you put into words how good you think this football team can possibly be this year? Again, I know you don't have a crystal ball, but does it feel like there's something special going on here?
Yeah, of course. Listen, at the end of the day, every team feels the same way before the season kicks off. Every team feels like they're going to be the one standing at the end of the season. It's up to us to be that team, and all that matters is how we play, when we play. Any given Sunday, as they say.
On the end off the field, how did you see Deshaun handle that return recovery from the shoulder?
He's been handling it well. I haven't even noticed anything different in the way he's been throwing the ball. It's almost like he hadn't heard it at all. So it's not something that I've been thinking about.
Or the fact that you guys are the 425 national game in week 1, which is something the Browns haven't been featured in week 1 like this in a very, very long time. Does that add a little extra excitement to this opener? The fact that much of the country's eyes are going to be on you guys and wanting maybe to show them just what kind of Browns team you have.
Yeah, of course. I mean, You know, at the end of the day, when you grew up as a kid watching football, these are the games that you tend to watch. You know, the games that are prime time, the games that everybody's watching. Um, so, of course, you know, these are the games that get the most attention. So I'd be lying if I said otherwise.
What makes Dak such a good quarterback? I mean, you having been on the receiving end, of his throws, what separates him? What makes him different?
One of the things you'll notice about being around Dak is he's a great leader, natural leader. That's one of his best traits. Is one of the traits that everybody notices about him right off of the rip. And you know, his tenacity, his will to win. Like, I mean, you could be down like 21 points in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, and Dak, like, you look at his eyes, you hear the tone of his voice. He still thinks that, you know, there's a chance to win, which it is. But that's what I like most about him. As far as like how he plays, he's another guy who's gotten better every year. Throws a beautiful ball. That's one of the things I noticed and I loved about him when I first started playing with him. He's gotten better IQ-wise at the position, as far as getting the ball out quicker and sooner, understanding the position. So he's been progressing every single year, and so, yeah.
Amari, as you mentioned, you've never been a free agent before. Is there something to be said about the notion of possibly hitting free agency when these receivers?
It's nothing to be said.
skyrocket?
Nothing to be said because I'm just trying to be where my feet are. I'm not even thinking about the future when there's so much at stake now.
Was it different playing for the Cowboys, America's team?
Say that again?
Was it different playing for the Cowboys?
Yeah, I mean, I played for 3 teams. Every team I've played for has been different from, you know, just the location, the environment, the feel, the aura. So, yeah.
I mean, the Cowboys in themselves, in fact, it feels like they're kind of a bigger brand than anybody else. Did you get that when you were playing with them? Get that sense?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you do. You do kind of get that sense. It is different playing for the Cowboys. Just most of the games are prime time. They get the most media attention, things of that sort. Yeah.
Amari, obviously going into when you get in the middle of the season, you have more like tape and things to go off of, tendencies, things that you guys are looking at to exploit. Week 1, you don't have that, and especially with a team like the Cowboys, got a new defensive coordinator, all that. How much of a Week 1 game is you guys able to kind of prepare some things and have some things sort of set? How much of it is you're really just going in and feeling out what they're doing in game in real time?
Yeah, it's always a little bit of both. Try to take the information that you actually can gather and go from there. You know, it don't really take a whole day to recognize the sunshine, as they would say. So, you know, the information that you have in front of you, that's what you go off of. But, you know, there's always going to be in-game adjustments as well. So, a little bit of both.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Mark.
Sure.
Hey guys, we have Jordan Pick.
We're all starting.
Oh, that one, this one's me.
Everybody's adjusting. All good. How we doing? Good.
We didn't see much of you during training camp, so
Yeah.
just wondering, maybe you could share with us why you weren't out there as much as you probably wanted to be, and how are you doing now?
Yeah, I was dealing with a little injury, but feeling good, ready for week 1, excited for this week, get back with the team.
Is it hard with coming into? I know you have familiarity with Jim, but coming into a new team, not get maybe the reps that you would have wanted to get.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we're continuing to build, right? This thing is about building to becoming the defense we have the potential to be. And so, obviously, you want every rep, you want every opportunity. But, you know, when I was out, I'm getting all the mental reps. I'm making sure I'm locked in. I'm still connected with the guys. You know, being able to be in the locker room and, you know, just have that camaraderie with everybody. So, I don't think, you know, at the end of the day, this is my 10th year. I've seen a lot of football. I've played a lot of football. I've had a lot of reps in my career. And so, you know, being on a new team, I think the biggest thing is camaraderie and being here in the locker room, hanging out with the guys. You know, that's what happened.
We know communication is so important, especially on the defense side of the ball. But with you not being out there to take those reps, how were you able to sort of still stay in touch and communicate with guys and talk about things, knowing that
Yeah.
eventually you're going to be back?
Yeah, it's coming out there, during practice and pulling guys to the side, saying, "Hey, what'd you see? Doing, you know what I mean?" And just talking through football, right? It's what role I've always had. It's the role that I embrace, and they understand how I communicate. They understand what the calls are going to be, and at the end of the day, like the call is the call, right? So if it's if it's the right call, if it's supposed to be right, I'm going to be making it right. Yeah, not too much.
You've been around for a long time, as you mentioned. What do you feel like the vibe is, or this team is ready for the season, just in terms of how good this football team can be this year?
Yeah, it's again, we haven't even played the first game, but at the end of the day, right? You look around the locker room and you have every component you're looking for, and then at that point, does the team gel? Is the team together? And this team is. Obviously, this is a big week. Obviously, it's the next one, but it's a big week because it's going to show who we are, right? Week one is always up in the air. There's question marks around everything. And it's your first opportunity to show what type of team you have the potential to be. So we're excited.
You respect along those lines. When you watch this defense, your own
Yeah.
defense on film, what do you see? What do you see from this group?
Speed, aggressiveness, excitement. Those are the three things that we pride ourselves on, and you see it day in and day out. When guys are flying around, playing fast, playing free, and then you have to deal with Miles. Like it's a hard defense to stop.
Is it different playing against the Cowboys because they're the Cowboys?
No. Just because of who they are.
Just that aura, you know what I mean. You
No,
matched
not
up
a-
against them a ton of times.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously they bring a lot of attention, and they have the spotlight on them at all times. But again, it's week one. No matter who you play week one, it's gonna be a game of magnitude. So, yeah.
What separates Dak, as a quarterback? You look at the schedule this year, it seems like you guys have every single top-tier quarterback on the schedule. But just, what separates him?
Decision making, his ability to put the ball where it needs to be, right? He sees the game really well. He's got a really good feel. Doesn't always run the ball, but when he does, you see him extending drives, on third down or first and second, and just, making the plays that have to be done. He's always been a winner, right? And that's something that, you see year in and year out with him.
Couple more.
You will wear the green dot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think the Cowboys have gotten close to being one-dimensional offensively?
I don't.
Run the ball.
Yeah, I mean, we got to wait and see, right? It's week one. To me, no. I've gone against them plenty of times. They pride themselves in having a physical offensive line and running behind them, right? So, I know that's their mentality. Obviously, they want to put the ball in Dak's hands and in CD's hands, but, I think the game of football, right, across the league is won in the trenches, and if you force a team to become one-dimensional, right, that's when you begin to have the advantage. And so, they know that, we know that. I don't think that's the case for them. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jordan.
Gotta stay left on the team.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to start with your golf game. I heard there's a big shot was made over the weekend.
Yeah, well, over the summertime. It was a few months ago. Yeah, I was playing at Sweetbriar in Avon, the local legacy course, and me, Wyatt, and Luke Whippler, and then one of the old golf pros there, Mike Franco, we were playing, and we were on the par 5 on the back, and I had albatross, which was, I never had an eagle in my life. Like, I'm not like 12 handicap, normal, but I hit a 7-iron into the green, and it looked like it disappeared, and I looked at Luke, and I was like, I think that went in. And he's like, it might have gone over the back. And I was like, thanks, dude. So we went, and I checked over the back first, and I walked up, and ball was in the hole. And the craziest part, me and my wife were talking about the night before, and I was telling her, like, it's an impossible thing. Like, she's like, have you ever had one? I was like, no, and now I do.
That's a 2 on a par 5, so what was your score for the round?
83. I went like double, triple the next 2 holes in excitement. Yeah.
So have you ever had a hole in one?
No, I haven't.
That's rare.
Yeah, that's what I told my wife. I was like, I'll probably never do this again, So
how long did you drive?
It was like 275 or 280, I think. It kind of cut the corner. Like, that one kind of dog's legs left. Went right by that big oak tree. And then it was like 178 or 180 in.
So Joel, hope always springs eternal at this time of year. Everyone's always has big hopes and dreams for the season, but you've been around here for a long, long time. What is your vibe? What is your take on what this Cleveland Browns team is all about as you guys get rolling?
Yeah, I think we're trying to take it 1 week at a time. The guys have been truly about their business this training camp. If it's getting healthy, if it's learning new plays, if it's getting your body right. It's been real focused. I think the guys around here are focused, and we're excited for the challenge of a new season. But truthfully, we're worried about the Cowboys right now because they're the first matchup.
So we don't know what's going on at left tackle, but you do, and you're not going to tell us. But how do you feel about what's going on at left tackle?
I think we have 3 guys that are either trying to get back or working to get back, practicing. We had 3 guys out there at practice yesterday, which first time we've done that, all season. So 3 guys that are working to try and get out there. I have faith in all of them. All of them have played a lot of football, and we're going to game plan. We know they have great edges. We know that's some of the strength of their team. But we have faith in all those guys, and all those guys have worked hard to either get healthy or to work on their practice. I mean, James is out there every day having going against Myles Garrett in practice. I think he's in that category of good rushers, so he gets to go against him. Jack's played some left tackle in his past life, and obviously Jed's been there for the last 4 years. So I think we have capable guys, and guys, whoever ends up being the guy this week, I think he'll be ready to go.
I know you said you have faith in you. All those guys can do the job, but just how challenging has it been going into week 1, and you're trying to just figure out what the O-line's going to look like there on the edges?
Yeah, I think you'd obviously love to have 5 guys and roll out 5 guys, but we understood that going into the year. Jack and Jed are coming off injuries and trying to get healthy, so it was going to be part of it. You wish for other things, but that's what we had to deal with, and I think we've been focused on it, and we've gotten the work in.
So it's safe to say now that it's not going to be you at left tackle?
Yeah, I don't think so. That would surprise me as well. But hey, you never know.
Is it more likely than not that 2 of those 3 guys you're talking about will see action?
I don't know. I truly don't know that. We'll see what we do Sunday.
Joel, I'm not trying to say that this will be your last season, but knowing that you've obviously been playing a decade now, you never know what's going to come to an end, what your decision's going to look like, what things will be come January. Do you relish, especially like this time of year, do you kind of like have different emotions about going into another year and knowing, just not knowing what's in store, but knowing you're sort of embracing that because you're just late in your career?
Yeah, every year's a blessing. I mean, I got 10 years in my career. I'm going to year 11 now, and it's special. Every time you get a start a new year, it's special. I feel good right now. It's an honor to open the season at home, and we get a huge test with the Cowboys. So it's going to be a fun environment, but I truly cherish every year, every time I can step on the field with this team. So it's exciting, but I always got those first game, anxiousness no matter what. It could be my 50th start or however many it is now, and you still have those a little bit of anxiety going into it because it's the first one. But no, I'm excited for this year, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
I can't remember the last time.
Last year, were you dealing with the knee at this point last year?
It had started up. Yeah, I feel a lot better. Last year it had started up early in the season, and I was trying to figure out what the best plan of action was at that point.
Joel, I can't remember the last time the Cleveland Browns were featured nationally in Week 1. Just, what does that add a little bit extra to this? The fact that, a nationwide audience is going to be watching you guys, and you have an opportunity to show them, what type of team you have.
Once you start playing, it's hard to but I did see a tweet yesterday. I'm like, oh, the map of the game or whatever, and it was the whole thing was Cleveland versus Dallas pretty much, and I was like, all right, so it's basically a national game, but it's exciting, man. We know the Cowboys are a big brand. We know the Browns are a big brand, and we don't play them very often, so I think it's an exciting matchup, and we're pumped for it. I mean, the guys have worked so hard to be ready for this Week 1, and hopefully we can go out there and perform like it.
What about Micah Parsons? How good is Micah? What makes him so tough to defend? And you see something too?
Yeah, he's kind of like, the queen of the chessboard out there. He can move around. He can make any move he wants. He'll find matchups that he likes. He's not just playing outside. He lines up inside, lines up off the ball. But, it's his athleticism and explosiveness. Even when he gets in bad positions, he finds a way to, still stay on his feet where most guys are falling down. He has power, too. He's just a dynamic player, and he seems to, make the big play for him. We were looking at third down stuff today, and it's his stats on third down are pretty outrageous as well. So he's a guy we have a lot of respect for, and he's an impressive player.
Joe, how nice is it not to have to talk about an opening day losing streak? And do you feel like you even have some momentum after winning the last 2 years?
Yeah, it's huge. That was a question, right? Before the last 2 years, you guys are gonna win the first one. Can you win the first one? But we've shown we can. We've shown we can start a season hot, and it's hard because it's the first game of the season, but it also is one game, out of a 17-game season. So we're focused on that. But no, we're like I said, we're excited to get out there.
So I'm sure you, I don't know if you'd admit it, but I'm sure early in your career there were years where you'd look around and say, we're probably not going to win the Super Bowl this year. When you look around at the talent on this team, how kind of exciting is it to think about what's in this room and what's possible?
Yeah, we have goals. It's exciting, but it's hard to look too far ahead. The season's so long, you truly have to take it one game at a time, or else you get too far, over your skis. So for us, it's hey, we're focused on Week 1, and we'll see where we're at after that. But you gotta, make the playoffs before you can think about that kind of thing. So right now, that's what I'm focused on. Obviously, I like our team. I like the guys in this locker room, but we're focused on that.
Do you know Tom Brady at all?
No.
Okay. Does it add something that he's going to be in the booth, and then is it also kind of weird that I think he's not allowed to watch your practice or talk to you guys because he's going to own the Raiders?
Yeah, I don't know how any of that is working, but it's his first game, first national game, so that's exciting. Honestly, for us, we're just playing. I don't really get to see the telecast at all, so it's different. I'm sure he'll do a great job. He's done great jobs in pretty much everything else he's done, but it's cool. It's cool.
Will you go back and watch it all and hear what he said about it?
No, I don't have time for that. We might catch something on the Friday tape that Kevin plays. He'll play smart plays, dumb plays of the week. So hopefully we're on the smart plays of the week.
Is that with every team, not just you guys?
Yeah, it's just around the league, plays that happened or important things. We go over it on Fridays. Sweet. Thanks, guys.
That was mine.
To be honest with you, I swear, I don't even come up with stuff like that.
What's up, everybody?
What up, Grant?
I don't know.
So how does it feel? Week 1 is back. Hope springs eternal. What are your expectations for this year?
Back to regular scheduled program, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We have heightened awareness. I'll say that. That's one thing we've been definitely focusing on. Not really tightening our grip so much. It's heightened awareness of the mind, you know. Because we know what we have, we know what we can do. It's just going out there and execute, man. It's a great opponent to show it against the first week.
You guys in the past, there's been a lot of talk of Super Bowl and goals and hopes and dreams. I don't know that I've heard as much Super Bowl talk this season. What's sort of the mindset heading in terms of your goals?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, everybody want to go to the Super Bowl, but does everybody have what it takes to do what you got to do day in, day out, every time you step on the field to get there? I've never been there, but we have guys that have. You know, everybody want to get somewhere, but do you do what it takes? You know, it's a lot of talk that goes into it, but you know, you let our actions do the talking. That's what I'm gonna focus on this year.
So, do you guys have what it takes to get there?
Who knows? I don't know. We go back and see this year. You know, if we do what we're supposed to, no doubt about it.
Is there a concerted effort not to talk about it as much this year and just go out and do what you need to do?
Nah, I don't think so. Nah, it's just, I don't know. You might see that from your perspective, but I hear it. You know, I preach it. I live it every day. So, you know, I do what I have to do, but it's perspective.
What about the fact that like ESPN has you guys middle of the pack, all these other experts have you guys not even making the playoffs this year?
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you make of all that?
ESPN probably don't even know I exist. So I'm not worried about ESPN, man. We're gonna probably see them later.
Dad, what about him stands out to you? I'm sure you've watched him for a long time. What makes him such a damn good quarterback?
I remember when he ran all over LSU when they played him. They played at Death Valley. I think I was at that game, but you know, he's a great quarterback, man, and you know they see the value in him. They put the weapons around him. They paid his number one weapon, so you know he got all the tools to be great. He throws the ball. Completion percentage, I think it was the highest in the NFL, and he's also gonna try you. I think he had like the highest maybe PBU percentage as well as completion percentage. So it's like a hard thing to do, but you know he trusts his guys. He try to get the ball in there. He like throwing the ball.
You mentioned they paid his top weapon in CD. You guys as a secondary, I'm sure you guys are obviously have a heightened awareness of him. What are the challenges that he kind of presents for you guys?
I mean, he's a great player. Like I've been on him for a while. I wanted to play him, to be honest. So I'm glad he got paid. I'm glad he deserved it. So I'm happy to finally get out there and compete against him at this level.
With a guy that gets that many targets that he has, like teams know that they're going to throw it to him. So how do they still get him, whatever it was, 125 catches last year?
Dak throwing the ball. I mean, simple as that. Sometimes quarterbacks get off their reads fast, but Dak trusts him. So he's gonna give him the ball, and we know that. You know, they know what kind of defense we play. So, you know, I expect a good competitive game.
You're talking about he's kind of ramping up and really not doing very much in practice yet or whatever. But are you fooled by that, basically? Like he's not going to be as ready as he would normally need to?
Who said that? That's the word around town.
Mike McCarthy, I think, said he was going to be on a pitch count.
A pitch count? Yeah, I think I seriously doubt that. But you know, he probably stay in the shape in the offseason, do what he got to do. They don't have a new offense, so I'm pretty sure he's been in tune with what they got to do. So he'll be ready, and so will we.
This is the first time that this whole defense has been healthy since probably the beginning of last year. How good does that feel, and how good could this defense be going into week 1, having all those pieces back? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. We got to stay healthy, though. That's the main thing. You know, you do what you can to better your body and stuff, but we got to take advantage of everybody there at the same time. You know, like I said, y'all know we preach it a lot. You know, we know who we got. We know who we are. You know, it's time to go out there and uphold that standard that we put out there last year, because the way we ended wasn't good enough, but we know who we are, man. We know what we got to do.
Grant, it seems like it doesn't seem it is. I mean, you guys are going to face pretty much every top-tier quarterback in the league this year, starting Sunday with Dak. So, you know, during the offseason, you guys have talked about getting to the next level defensively. Just how critical is it for you guys to get to that next level as a unit, so that you can achieve whatever goals you have internally?
Yeah, we're going to be battle-tested. I think going against all these guys, it's going to be good for us. We're going to see, like you said, the top guys, and it's going to test our skills a little bit. It's going to make us see a bunch of different offenses and how quarterbacks operate. So should be really no excuses as we get toward the end of the year and getting that experience under our belt of actually seeing elite quarterbacks.
Grant, Kevin referred to week one kind of as like a feeling out process. I think that's probably especially true for like the offensive side of the ball for you guys, because there's so much new offense, different stuff like that. But for you guys defensively, like a lot of guys, you basically have everybody coming back, a few new faces. But are you guys sort of the opposite, where you expect to just kind of hit the ground running?
Sorry, they were distracting me right here. Can you repeat the second half of that question one more time?
Yeah, just offensively, we're kind of anticipating it might be like a little bit of a learning curve because there's so much new.
Oh,
but defensively, since you guys have so much coming back,
yeah.
is it the opposite, where you're just kind of expecting to hit the ground running?
Yeah, we play fast. We don't really think, we kind of just go. So I don't think it's too much learning going on now. Now the game plan is in. We know what we got to do. And Jim does a good job of keeping it simple for us so that guys are able to play fast and be physical.
We good?
Shout out to the fans too. We can't wait to see y'all, man. First home game. We don't play at home. I know y'all gonna come out and support. And I need some 9 jerseys out there too.
All right.
Thanks, Grant.
Respect. All right, that'll be it for that.